Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Brev. Welcome to What Would Brev Do, episode 30. I've been saying it a lot recently, but thank you guys so much for the support this year. I can't believe this is our 30th full gameplay on YouTube, and you better believe there's many more to come this year and many more installments of the game. Thank you guys for everything. Today's episode, we're going to be pitching with 99 Lefty Grove, who has been highly requested from Twitch chat recently, and I rated him pretty highly on my last tier list video. If you missed that, a link is in the description below. I rated him as the 6th best starting pitcher in the entire game right now, so I feel like a lot of you could benefit from learning how to pitch with him. He is pretty expensive. His per nines are not the greatest, but I think he brings a lot to the table. That's really good. So that's what we're rolling with. We're rolling with the God Squad lineup again. Just as a reminder, we're running Gehrig over Bellinger just to work on his prestige. I think Bellinger is the better first baseman at this point in the year, as you would be able to see if you watch the tier list video, which you should definitely do. By the way, I was on Ship It there because I've been playing events. All right, I'm not going to the dark side on you guys. But yeah, let's talk about Lefty Grove. One of the reasons I rated him so highly on the tier list is because he's left-handed. Very good meta for left-handed pitching right now. I don't think on paper he's as good as a lot of other righties in the game, but he gets the benefit of facing a lot of lineups that are very much tuned to hit righty pitching more than lefty pitching. So you're thinking about Trout, Tatis, Betts, all have reverse splits. Lefty Grove brings the outlier to the table, so he's a pretty soft counter to like the slow swing traditional righties like Willie Mays, Manny Machado, Jimmy Fox, people like that. So I just think he's in a really, really good spot right now, and I enjoy pitching with him a lot. And this is one of those traditional lineups where he is going to feast. Lindor is a bit of a problem, not something you usually see, but not a lot of people running J-Ram anymore, not a lot of people running Mondesi anymore, so again, just a really good spot for Lefty Grove right now. Against the majority of his lineup, we're going to have the advantage on the mound in this one. And I don't know how many, this might be the third What Would Brev Do in a row that I faced Darvish. I don't know. Maybe I made that up in my head, but I feel like every time I press record, I end up hitting against this Darvish card. So let's talk about our approach at the plate against Darvish. He's probably going to throw a lot of cutters. A lot of people throw a lot of cutters with Darvish. My personal advice is not to do that, so we'll see what he kind of throws with here. But I'm usually sitting waiting for like a sinker or a cutter inside early in the game. That was a good up and away cutter there, so now we know. So he is going to be cutter heavy versus righty. At least that's what he showed us in the first 5 pitches. Unfortunately, we made an out for that information, but we had to protect against the 4-seamer up and away or the sinker outside with that swing. So good sequence, good spot by him. As always, we're being super patient early in the game. Darvish is a guy who doesn't walk you a whole lot. He's very much a pound the strike zone and induce soft contact type of pitcher on this game. But you never know. Sometimes people just lose the strike zone. So 3 sinkers in a row from him here and 4 in a row. So he definitely attacked Willie Mays the way most people do, which is with the hard stuff inside. A lot of people know Willie Mays' swing is slow, so that's usually how you're going to get attacked there. Not an excuse, but my first game of the day, so we have a lot of What Would Brev Do's where we fall behind and can't hit very well, so or early on, so this may be one of those. So far, though, seen a decent amount of pitches, and I don't really have any tendencies to pick up on, other than he's kind of straight away from this traditional off-speed, which he may try to go to here, 3-2. He did, yeah. So he's saving the slider, saving the curveball for when he needs it, kind of seems like his approach. We do end up getting the walk against Darvish, and that was probably a spot where I could have let it rip. I was sitting sinker more than cutter, though, there, so it wasn't really what I was looking for. If he leaves a sinker in a bad spot, that's kind of what I'm sitting on in this situation. You know, 2 outs, can't really hit into a double play, so 1-2 here. Last time he struck me out on an inside sinker. He tried to front door the slider there. Cutter up and away or sinker inside is typical sequence here. It was a cutter inside. Unfortunately, we're early there. That was not a good spot for that pitch. I don't know where he's going to go now. 4-seam away. That guy diced me up that inning. I'm not even going to lie to you guys. That was a rough inning for me at the plate. It happens, though. All right, Lefty Grove on the mound. So let's talk about Lefty. First of all, he's got the outlier 4-seamer. Whenever you have a pitcher with the outlier 4-seamer, that should be your #1 pitch that you're relying on, especially Lefty, who throws left-handed. The only starting pitcher in the entire game that throws left-handed and has an outlier. So you are going to find yourself pitching to a lot of people that struggle to catch up with that velo. So pitching off the fastball, very important with this card. Another dynamic that lefty brings to the table is he has both a forkball and a changeup that are at different velocities. So you can see the great control I have over my off-speed pitches too, specifically the forkball and the changeup. I think that's one of the biggest strengths of Lefty Grove. I would say a large percentage of the time I'm throwing four-seam forkball changeup with this card. I basically only throw sliders left on left, so you may see one in this at-bat or a couple. In fact, I'll throw it right here. But usually I'm staying away from the slider against right-handed hitters. His control on it is not great. I'd almost rather just throw a forkball instead. The curveball is decent as well. He has decent control on it, but curveballs in this game this year just aren't very good. So he actually put a really good swing on that forkball, which is unusual based on the spot that I hit it with. So, man, I'm trying to get a lot out at once. It's only the first inning. I apologize, guys. I'm trying here. A lot to say. Hopefully I remember to say everything. But with lefty, I pitch kind of differently left on left as I do left on right with this card. I guess you should probably do that with most cards. But the dynamics of the forkball and changeup change based on, we're just going to give him 3 in a row of that because we're going to challenge him here because that was an ugly swing. Might as well make him hit it. He did turn on it, but he was late-sided good there, so that's good for us. The forkball with lefty is much better at tunneling high, so you'll see me pitch high with the forkball a ton. The changeup is more of like a traditional like low in the zone off-speed pitch, so I usually end up throwing the forkball high a lot. When you're pitching left on left, throwing the forkball high and glove side is really strong. It looks like a fastball out of the hand because of the crossfire, and it often induces early swings for ground balls, so that's a great pitch when you need a double play. And then the changeup arm side, left on left, is much better than the changeup glove side. I will talk about that more when we are back on the mound. Front door cutter there, he's tried that a couple times. So even though that ball tunneled as if it was off the plate out of the hand, we were able to predict that breaking in over the zone, and we put a good PCI on it. So he really has liked that front door cutter right on right, which is something I talked about when I pitched with Darvish in the last episode of this, so maybe he's seen the video, but yeah, that's just picking up on a tendency there, knowing that that's one of his favorite pitches. If it was a sinker, we probably would have shattered our bat, but he hasn't shown me that he's going to throw that yet. 3-1 here, I'm just going to try to get a walk, try to get this inning going more. He does go with the four-seamer there, which is a good pitch at 3-1, trying to miss my PCI. And then he came back with another four-seam in a good spot. My PCI was more for a sinker there. I wonder if he'll go back to the slider here since he liked that 3-2 last time. Beautiful. So the only other 3-2 count we've had in the game so far, he threw a slider and he missed his spot and he walked us, right? So that's why I kind of had a feeling he might throw the slider there. I think he probably didn't even miss his spot that much on that pitch, to be honest. I just think slider is like his 3-2 pitch, and he just really didn't want to walk me there. So luckily we were able to punish on that. Slider curveball to Machado is super weird. A lot of people pitch Machado the same way as Mays. I'm just going to keep the bat fast and try to protect against the hard stuff here. I can't imagine he'll throw a whole lot of more soft stuff. He's probably trying to pitch me backwards in this at bat. Set me up with the slow stuff so he can pound me inside later on. Still late on it, man. That's just a great spot. That is a tough pitch to hit. All right, sinker inside, 3-2. He's definitely not going to throw a slider, so my bat's fast. And it was a cutter. We were early on it, but we get lucky. Good spot for that pitch, man. Honestly, not that far off from the one that we made an out with Trout. Now's a good time to swing first pitch with Mookie here. Dang, we were a little early. So Mookie has first pitch hitter, and we have a runner on base, so home runs were 2, so that's why I kind of wanted to swing early in the count there. But now we can kind of chill. We want to try to stay away from low tunnels here, keep ourselves out of the double play. We also kind of want to stay from away from away tunnels here, so we're not rolling over on cutters. That was another slider that hung middle, another magnet. Those are the ones you can't miss. That almost went over the scoreboard. Mookie's so good, man. Couple of bad sliders from him. It's really not a pitch I throw much with you, Darvish, to be honest. You can see we're almost at 50 pitches for you as well, and he's only recorded 3 outs. So it's this classic Brev at the plate. You guys know how we do. And we're able to make contact with our pitcher there, which is good. Lefty can hit just a little bit. 24 contact, 16 power, but you're not really expecting much up there. And now we're just going to chill in the Trout at bat, too. I want to see if he wants to kind of pound the zone against me here. That's kind of reactionary, realizing the pitch count is up, or if he's going to start nibbling more because he's given up quite a few runs this inning. So we'll see. That was a very disrespectful pitch, so I think it's going to be the first option. There's a sinker low and in. I wonder if he doubles up there. He did. The reason I thought he might double up is because he did it against Willie Mays and I struck out. So I was still late on that. I was lucky that was a ball. Does he triple up? He does not. He goes back to the slider. My man has to get away from that pitch. Even just throwing a curveball instead would be infinitely better. Another good spot for me to swing first pitch here. Unfortunately, I'm late on it because it was inside on me. It's really hard to turn and burn with Willie. I can definitely understand why people don't like hitting with him. I just took a bad swing there. That was the right approach, though. And now we have an opportunity for Griffey to do some damage. We'll see if we get anything to hit here. 2-0. Fox on deck, but he may like that matchup a little more than this. We'll see. Another slider. 2-0 slider. All right, this is pretty commonly a sinker now. Dude, my man. My guy has got to stop. The stubbornness right now. I can't believe what I'm seeing. That's a good pitch. Does he dare throw another slider? Great pitch there, man. Good take. If that was a sinker, I was toast. Probably going to throw a sinker now. Curveball. Haven't seen that much. My guy throws a lot of off speed in full counts. So we don't know how much longer we'll see Darvish, but at least we have that info. Another good spot for me to swing first pitch here, but we got to turn on the sinker if it is one. And it was not. There it is. Swung over the top. Honestly, a pretty good swing. Both times I tried to swing early in the count on a sinker. That inning, it was in a really good spot. He didn't really miss his spot, so there's not a whole lot we can do there. Maybe we could have changed our approach, been a little more patient with Fox there, but if I didn't swing at that sinker, we were looking at an 0-2 count anyway, so not terribly a good situation. All right, back to pitching with lefty. So, yeah, like I said, left on left, I like the forkball glove side. Left on right, I like the forkball arm side a lot more, and I throw the forkball high a lot more, because it just looks like a fastball more than the changeup does. Like, I'll just throw this out there just to show you. Like, the changeup has such a hump when it comes out of the hand. It's pretty easily recognizable there. So, throwing it high, not nearly as effective as throwing it low. So, that's kind of the dynamic. I switch between forkball, changeup quite frequently. And I'm not going to throw him a fastball here because it'd be a pretty typical spot for me to pound the fastball. I think he was early there. I missed my spot real bad. That was middle low. That's unfortunate that we just gave up a double and a bomb that quickly. He was early there for sure. Yeah, I had a feeling he'd be ready for a fastball. That's just not a spot I could throw it. Honestly, shouldn't be throwing one here either because he's probably ready. But he has not tagged us on the four seam very much. He did turn on the one with Trout, but Trout has a very quick swing and he was still late sided good. So what I was going to say before I gave up that bomb is we need to start challenging him more with a lot more four seams and pitching off of that a lot better. So that's what we're going to do. He was a little bit late on that fastball we just threw, even though it was a bad spot. And this is really the strength of lefty, man, and it's my fault for getting cute with the slow stuff. But people just seriously aren't used to seeing a left-handed outlier on the game this year. I think this is the only card that ever had it the whole time. As far as starting pitchers go. So it's a lot to try to hit, especially if you don't face this card very often. We'll go change up low and in here just for show, and then he's getting fastballs the rest of the at-bat. The fact that he took that is kind of scary, though. The fact that he did not swing there kind of implies that he's sitting fastball. So let's try a curve. Yeah, my guy is... See, I don't know what to throw now. I might just pitch around him, to be honest. Yeah, I'm just going to walk Salvi here. My guy could not have been sitting dead red anymore there. This walk is maybe stupid because it's a good spot to pinch hit for you here, but we'll see how deep his bullpen can go. He elects not to pinch hit, which is good for us, so that's a good decision. We're going to put the outfield shallow just so we don't get cheesed by some blue pits. And then I'm just going to throw some off speed here to the pitcher because usually with outlier pitchers, the opposing pitcher just tries to like guess fastball and turn. That was crushed for a slider. All right, I don't know, man. I feel like he's sitting fastball, and that was just a bad spot for the slider. So we'll keep an eye on him. Unfortunately, he does cut the lead in half, but we are putting in work on him at the plate, even though we're only up by 2. Could very easily punish him keeping Darvish in here if we can work like a 20-30 pitch inning. 2-0 count to start off as well, so I'm just going to take. I'm taking 2-1 here as well. I think a good condition for us moving forward is trying to get this pitch count up for you as much as we can, because since he was the last out of that inning, he's now 9 spots away from getting pinch hit for. And if we can put him in a situation where he feels like he has to take him out, it's going to make things really awkward. That is an amazing pitch, 3-2. Another 3-2 slider, by the way. Should have seen that coming, but he ended up hitting his spot that time, so good pitch. He finally did not hang it. Too close for me to take there. I'm honestly in shock that this guy throws as many sliders as he has. I got to give him props, man. He's sticking with it, though. All right, middle sinker. Cutter sinker here. Maybe he sticks with the hard stuff. He did. Another sinker. We were late. And usually he just sticks with the hard stuff the whole way through the at-bat. So our bat's fast here. And I pulled the PCI inside for the cutter. Just a mechanical error there. That was a 4-seam middle. Looks bad that we missed that, but if that was a cutter, that was getting hit 500 feet. So good on him. That's the entire point of throwing the 4-seam with Darvish, is you try to miss the PCI. So that was our bad there. I did not recognize the 4-seamer right away. And this is turning out to be a very good inning for him. If he goes 1-2-3 here, that is about as good as he gets from his perspective. So we really need to try to get Manny Machado on base here and extend this inning if we can. 2-1. I'm inclined to take some more. That's a good sinker. Again, Manny's swing is slow, so we're trying to keep a fast bat on inside tunnels. There's an outside curveball. I might have hit that out because ship it. No, we were under it. Like I said in the Darvish video where I pitched with him, his curveball is really hard to piece up actually with the PCI. It's got like an awkward amount of break, so we missed a couple hittable pitches that inning, and we go 1-2-3, which is not ideal for the game state. He could definitely grab a lot of momentum this inning if he just puts some numbers up on the board here. So we're starting with a fastball because we want to establish it, but we're doing it away. This is something I've talked about before. If I think my opponent might be sitting fastball, but I still want to throw it, I throw it away instead of inside, because that way if they turn and burn, they're going to be early instead of good or perfect. I actually threw that middle high there, and he swung over the top, so he was ready for that one. But I'm going to stick with the approach here. He's getting a heavy dose of outlier fastball this inning. Really the only damage he's done to me this game has been on a changeup hit off the wall for a double, and then immediately a forkball pulled for a home run. So he's taken some decent swings at the 4-seam, but I really want him to establish that he can punish me on this pitch before I start getting as cute as I was earlier. That's another great pitch that I love with lefty, is this low and away fastball, left on left. So much off-speed tunnel comes in at this tunnel that they typically take it because they think it's a slider breaking off the plate, or they think I'm trying to bury a forkball. Going to try to tunnel the slider now. Again, lefty's slider control is not very good. So you can see if that was a more competitive pitch, he definitely would have swung. Now I'm going to go back up and in with the fastball, even though his bat was fast there, just to keep challenging him. We missed our spot, and now we are just going to throw another fastball. Got to make him hit it, man. You use lefty for the outlier. He hasn't hit it much this game. That time he got it. Tip your cap. At least we made him show us, and at least it wasn't a home run. So that's honestly a pretty good outcome there. Tying run at the plate now, and it's Trout, so I'm actually just going to show a forkball really fast. He took it. I kind of want to show off speed for a strike and then go back to the fastball. Yeah, there we go. So now we go back to the fastball. Again, we're doing it up and away in case he turns. He was late there. And now we're just going to bury a forkball. If you want to bury one middle, I think forkball is a lot better than changeup with Lefty Grove, as you can see. For the same reasons that I tunnel it high, it just looks more like a fastball out of the hand than the changeup does. So really, when I'm using the changeup a lot less than the forkball, and I'm using it as like traditional off speed, like here, like low and away, get him to pull it early. Then we can go with the forkball up and away. That looks like the fastball that we've been pounding him with. Awkward timing window. And then we can just go up and in with the outlier and try to sit him down. Missed our spot, though. Let's try to bury a forkball again. Maybe play some mind games. Good take. I wanted that a little more middle. We'll try the low and in four seam. Try to catch him looking, and we did. Beautiful. Yeah, so that's a very good spot for lefty. That's a spot that people throw cutters with Oral on Legend a lot, like this part of the zone. It just comes in so fast, and it's so very often not a fastball that people just take it a lot. I don't know. It's a really good pitch. Maybe people will adjust to that moving forward in the year. I've definitely shown him that I can't hit a four seam, so I'll be interested to see if he sticks with that. A little cutter low and away from us that we beat the shift with. Did not deserve a hit there. But that is sometimes how you get punished for the shift. Darvish is kind of easy to steal on, so we may try to steal. We have to hope he throws a ball, though, because people sometimes slide step second pitch thinking I'm going to bunt. He did not there. So now we're 0-2. So now we just kind of strike out, take our L. We don't want to hit into a double play with our pitcher here, so this is the L we have to take. I'm actually going to take off here with Mookie. And he got a terrible jump, so that was a lot happening. I mistimed my lead, so Mookie got a terrible jump at first, so I like emergency bunted is what happened there. Or I could just tell you guys I wanted to get my daily mission done. Let's go. Yeah, but that was super awkward. I hope you guys know what I was trying to do there. Cutter. Does he go slider afterwards? My man. I don't know who told this guy that Darvish throws the best slider in the game, but my man needs new friends. Oh my god. I would legitimately have like a single run if this guy never threw a slider the whole game. I gotta take it though. I gotta be very thankful. Man, okay. Cutter slider is actually a really typical sequence, by the way. That was why I was guessing it there, especially with how often he likes it. Does he dare throw it again? Bruh. I don't think I've hit a single one of them softer than like 95 miles an hour. This is an up and in sinker. Dang it. He's spotting that up and away cutter from righties really well. He did it to Trout, he did it to Machado, which was a hit, and then he did it there. So I don't really know how to adjust to that. It's just a good spot. Kind of just gotta roll it over, I guess, or hope my early swing turns into a home run. But that's just not a pitch I'm looking for there, especially with a slow swing, Willie. There's a four seam up. That was just reactionary. Perfect from Griffey. He's the best at that, man. You should probably never pitch Griffey up and away. Like, same with Babe Ruth. Like, up and away is just a death zone for those two guys. I don't know why. Their swings are just made for it. This is Darvish's 100th pitch. It's another four seam. I think this is an out. Yeah, that is really tough. Dang. Especially considering we could have worked Darvish for more pitches there if we hit that out. That sucks, man. I did miss it slightly again. Our PCI is not on the four seam exactly, just as a product of sitting cutter sinker and all the movement that Darvish has. But again, you can see working the four seam. I wish I had better sequencing to show you guys with lefty, but I mean, like I keep saying, if you're getting yourself a Lefty Grove because you want to pump gas from the left side, right? You got to make your opponent hit it before you get cute. We got cute earlier. Did not work in our favor. But so far we're kind of cruising, man. 3 2/3, only 2 runs given up, only 3 hits in total, and just 1 intentional walk, which probably would have been a real walk if we tried, so we'll just call it a walk. Curveball for show here. We're going to go slider for show as well. It's actually pretty important we get one of these next 2 batters out so that we can force an awkward scenario where he's not allowed to pinch hit for you, Darvish, this inning. And he turned on that four seam, but he didn't get the PCI up to it. So that was a swing where he did make an adjustment. So we got to keep that in mind. Maybe we start working back to the forkball changeup. But you guys can see just how few curveballs I'm throwing, how few sliders I'm throwing. It really the name of game with lefty. Tunneling high, working everything off the fastball, and lots of forkball changeup dynamics. So I hope I've described that in a way that can help you guys. And hopefully when you watch back to sequencing, you can kind of pick up on what I'm trying to do. There's another four seam. Eventually I'm going to accidentally perfect it. Like if that was a cutter, I'm rolling out to shortstop like Willie Mays did, but that's the risk of the four seam, is sometimes I accidentally hit it. You know what I mean? So we put up 8. This is Darvish's 107th pitch coming up, and this is what I mean making it really awkward. One of the biggest half innings we've had all game was last inning on the mound, because now he's approaching very high pitch count with Darvish, but he probably doesn't want to take him out because he's set to get pinch hit for next inning. And based on this guy's decision not to pinch hit for Darvish earlier in the game, he's probably got a pretty taxed bullpen. We can always check that as well. I'm not going to pause the game here because I feel like I have momentum, and I don't want him to start thinking about taking Darvish out, because I definitely don't want him to take Darvish out. So we're just going to assume his bullpen is taxed and make him try to fight through this with you. Try to work as many pitches as we can. Try to get that PCI growing. Try to get some BABIP going in our favor here. 3-1 to Manny. I think I'm going to take this. A walk is very good for what we're trying to do, and I'm trying to stay out of double plays here as well. For the same reason, I am going to steal with Lou Gehrig. And I popped it up. We're going to get back in time. Another good spot for that sinker, man. That's the one pitch I haven't hit this game, is the low and in sinker. So now we got to be aggressive with Mookie so we don't let this go to waste here with the pitcher on deck. So we got to try to look for something to crush here. That was probably the pitch. I don't know what my brain or thumbs were doing there. That's literally the pitch you're looking for in that spot. Just can't hit, I guess. And we end up chopping the slider for a double play. Man, we could not have played that any worse. Dang it, dude. Our whole win condition that inning just went out the window with that double play. That's exactly what I was trying to avoid with Machado. That sucks a lot, man. We could have put him away that inning if we'd have hit better. Now he's going to be in it with a pinch hitter and a good bullpen working in. We are sticking with off-speed this at bat, I think. He's probably sick of me pounding him with fastballs. See if he chases this. Was not in a good spot. Let's try to throw it a little more middle and inside. We got a couple balls to work with. No, sir. Let's try this low and in four seam again. Probably shouldn't throw this. He's probably ready for it. Missed my spot too. All right, he's just gonna look at that. I don't know, man. What? Okay, I don't know what this guy's doing. This guy must have the most taxed bullpen of all time. Yeah, I guess I just like auto pick my pitch and just see if he's like lagging out, and I'll step off, give him a chance to pinch hit. This is mind-boggling, friends. I don't have anything analytical to say about this. If you're not gonna pinch hit here, like, what are we doing here? Like, you're not gonna win this way. I am so confused. He's just gonna look at 3 fastballs. Okay. Maybe he wants to work on Darvish prestige, but I don't know, dude. Maybe he's just striking out looking to try and ruin my video. It's not gonna work, dude. We already got 4 solid innings with Mr. Grove. Yeah. Alright, he duked me there. He's randomly super patient. Alright, at least he's still playing the game. This is a good thing. I thought we were going to have a situation where I was going to have to cut out to the end. Alright, are we back to doing baseball? What's the deal here? He's got to be ready for a fastball. Let's try this up and away fork that I like throwing a lot. That ended up as a middle fork, and he lined out, so that's good. I missed my spot quite a bit on that. That's a risky part of throwing high in the zone, but it's kind of a necessary evil, especially when you have a pitch repertoire like Lefty does. So obviously 6-run lead, no reason to take Mr. Grove out here. We're also going to take till 2 strikes with our pitcher because there's nobody on base. Work that pitch count a little more. Our PCI should start getting huge here. Darvish should definitely be in the red energy by now at 122 pitches. So when we get Trout up, we should have like a veteran looking PCI. That was even a bad swing from a pitcher and it went a long way. So now that our PCI is gigantic because he didn't pinch hit for some reason, now we're just basically going to look to have good timing on anything in the zone because we're probably going to get rewarded. And this is how the game is programmed, to keep people from leaving in their pitchers too long. My PCI is just going to be huge, and you can notice the RNG on the balls that I put in play. It's going to be very heavily in my favor. This is, again, just the way the game is programmed. Just like that, very early, almost went for a hit. You just cannot leave a pitcher in with no energy in this game. It's just, you just can't get outs. It's just not a thing. So I don't really know what his approach was, leaving Darvish in there. Like, even there, I was late on the same pitch I haven't hit all game and hit it to the wall. I don't know, man. He's probably trying to work on, he maybe phoned it in on this game and just working on the prestige. Which sucks for me because I want to give you guys some gameplay, but if I randomly don't score this inning, which I didn't, he's still in it. So that was a pretty good swing, actually, but whatevs. I'm trying not to let like my mood get down either. I just want a 9-inning game of teaching you guys stuff, you know, not people that leave their starter in for 130 pitches when they're down by 6 runs and they don't pinch hit. Anyway, back to working the fastball. He did adjust his bat back down in terms of speed last inning. There he cranked it up. We actually have a play at second here with Willie Mays. If we get a good animation, which we did not. Alright, so we're missing our spot quite a bit with Lefty, and he's shown us that he can hit the 4-seam now. We're going to throw it one time here, then we're going to try to start working the slow stuff again. We're going to try this forkball high, the changeup's low, tunneling as if they're fastballs, throwing forkballs in fastball tunnels. That's a beautiful pitch right there. You can see how early he is, and we'll try to bury a forkball here now too, try to make it look like that fastball that we've been painting on him low and in, but I left it middle again. So first and third, nobody out for Lefty here. Been missing my spots a ton. This is another spot where we absolutely cannot throw a fastball first pitch. He's just waiting for it. It's actually Lou Gehrig, who's the same guy who took us deep on the off-speed last time. He's late there. This is awkwardly a double play, I think. That's so tough for him, man. I think the only way that happened is if he sent Mickey back himself, so I don't feel as bad. We get him late side of good on the changeup. We somehow don't give up a run that inning. That double play was really tough, man, but I think he sent Mickey back on his own because he thought I was going to catch it in the air. That was very lucky, man. This is very irritating with Darvish. I apologize, guys. Like I said, the guy obviously just doesn't want to win the game based on these decisions. And a word of advice is if you're down 8-2 on Hall of Fame difficulty, the game is definitely not over. And you should at least pinch hit with your pitcher and try to win, you know. Let's just try to score 4 and get in mercy rule territory and call it a day. You can see just how absolutely massive my PCI is. Should work in our favor, man. He plunks us 0-2. Now we get Gehrig up, who's had himself a day. And by a day, I mean just crushing a hanging slider and hitting a single. This has got to be a home run every time. This at bat, yeah. You just literally can't pitch this way. I guess this is a lesson I could teach you guys in the video. Is trying to throw a guy with no energy is just literally impossible on this game. It's just never ever gonna work. You are going to give up millions of runs. So hopefully, I'm not taking Lefty Grove out, so hopefully Mookie gets on base or hits a home run here so we can get the mercy rule going. But my approach really isn't that much different, man. He's throwing us the hard stuff. That's tough again. Dang it, bro. Maybe lefty will hit a bomb. 141 pitches, dude. I'm gonna power swing with my pitcher here because I can, because my PCI is so massive. Project Lefty Grove, YouTube. This is what we're doing. Imagine I hit this out. Oh! In the gap! Now we're having fun. I see you, lefty. I can't wait to roll over on a cutter and choke this opportunity with Mike Trout now. I have Mike Trout against a guy with no energy. If I make an out here, I swear I'm going to retire from MLB The Show. It'd be the saddest thing of all time. What did I say, dudes? Okay. We're back on the mound. We're pitching left on left, which means we're going to work those fork balls high. We're going to throw them glove side, left on left, because that is the best spot for them. They look exactly like fastballs out of the hand. We're going to throw the changeup low and away, because that is the better spot. He is early there. And now we're going to try a pitch we haven't tried, which is a front door slider. I don't throw this very often with lefty, because his control on it's terrible. That ended up being an absolute accidental dot. But it's a cool pitch, especially with guys that throw sliders with good control. Like, it's one of my favorite pitches with Kershaw. If we'd have thrown a forkball there, he'd have flailed at it for strike 3. Unfortunately, with fastball, he swung early and got a hit. And now's the point where he puts up runs to make it harder for us to mercy rule him. If this guy doesn't pinch hit here, dude, I am going to lose my mind. I think I already lost my mind. What's the call here, Buster? Alright, we got J-Ram off the bench. Now we're playing baseball. Now we're doing it. I wouldn't be roasting this guy as much if literally 6 of his 7 bullpen arms weren't full energy right now. Alright, let's try to bury this forkball. Maybe he strikes out. Maybe he hits into a double play. You never know. Jose's actually really short too, so against short guys when you have an outlier, tunneling this high fastball is really good. They chase it quite often because it's in a spot that would be a strike against other hitters that they have, if that makes sense. And we get him to chase the forkball. Here's Tatis. We're just going to throw another forkball. He's taking it. We'll go up and away here just in case he's sitting four seam. Same reasons as before. He's late. We're just going to throw that same pitch again. Missed our spot. Now we're going to go change up low and away. Ended up low and middle. That actually wasn't a bad spot. And now let's try forkball up and away, since he would have struck out with Seager on that. Missed our spot again. And now we try the classic paint spot here. And he missed. He's under it. So 7 strong from lefty. Again, man, we have actually been cruising through this game. Like, we gave up the double off the wall and then the bomb right after on an early swing. And now we got J-Ram pitching. So I'm just going to go ahead and call the video here, man. Obviously, this game is over. So I hope you guys learned something. If you have any questions about pitching with Lefty Grove or anything that I did in this video, be sure to drop them in the comment section below. I really try my best to respond to comments on these videos specifically to try to help you guys out. So yeah, let me know what you thought. Let me know if you're going to pick up Lefty Grove. Let me know if this helped you. I'm going to continue making outs against position players because I don't want to play in this game anymore. Take care, guys. See you later.